Crash course on producing Canadian maple syrup from raw tree to final product. Canada is the world's largest producer and exporter of maple syrup, accounting for around 71% of global production. Quebec is the largest producing province, followed by Ontario, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia. In 2020, Canadian maple syrup production totaled 13.2 million gallons, 49.9 million liters, a decrease from the previous year due to weather conditions and the COVID-19 pandemic. The value of Canadian maple products exports was $487 million CAD in 2020, with the United States being the largest importer. Maple syrup is classified into 4 grades based on color and flavor: golden, amber, dark, and very dark. Each grade has a distinct flavor profile and is used for different purposes. 1. Golden. This grade has a light, delicate taste and is usually used for pancake syrup, salad dressings, and baking. It is the most expensive grade, with a retail price of around $18 to $20 Canadian for a 500 milliliters bottle. 2. Amber. This grade has a slightly richer flavor and is often used as a table syrup. It is less expensive than golden, with a retail price of around $16 to $18 Canadian for a 500 milliliters bottle. 3. Dark. This grade has a stronger flavor and is used for cooking and baking. It is less expensive than amber, with a retail price of around $14 to $16 Canadian for a 500 milliliters bottle. 4. Very dark. This grade has the strongest flavor and is typically used for making maple candy or as a flavoring in cooking. It is the least expensive grade, with a retail price of around $12 to $14 Canadian for a 500 milliliters bottle. Overall, the Canadian maple syrup market is thriving, with a strong demand for high-quality, locally produced syrup both domestically and internationally. Here are the basic steps involved in the process of producing Canadian maple syrup from raw tree to final product. 1. Choosing the right trees. Maple trees are the primary source of maple syrup, and not all maple trees are suitable for tapping. The most common species used for syrup production in Canada are sugar maple, red maple, and black maple. Trees should be at least 10 to 12 inches in diameter and located in areas with good drainage and access to sunlight. 2. Tapping the trees. In early spring, before the sap begins to flow upward, small holes are drilled into the trunk of each tree, and a spout is inserted to allow the sap to flow out. The sap runs down the spout and into a collection container, usually a bucket or plastic tubing. It's important to tap the trees at the right time, when the temperature is above freezing during the day and below freezing at night. 3. Collecting the sap. Once the sap is flowing, it needs to be collected regularly, usually every day. The sap is clear and slightly sweet, but not yet thick enough to be maple syrup. Depending on the size of the operation, collection can be done by hand or with a vacuum system. 4. Boiling the sap. The next step is to boil the sap down to a syrup. This can be done over an open fire, in a large pan on a stove, or in a specialized evaporator designed for maple syrup production. The sap is boiled until most of the water has evaporated, leaving behind a thick, sweet syrup. 5. Filtering and finishing the syrup. Once the syrup has reached the right consistency, it needs to be filtered to remove any impurities or sediment. This is usually done with a series of filters, including a pre-filter and a finishing filter. The syrup is then heated again to a specific temperature to remove any remaining water and ensure it will keep for a long time without spoiling. 6. Bottling and labeling the syrup. The final step is to bottle the syrup and label it with the grade and producer information. Maple syrup is graded according to its color and flavor, with lighter grades being more delicate and darker grades having a stronger flavor. The labeling requirements vary depending on the province or territory where the syrup is produced. Overall, producing maple syrup is a labor-intensive process that requires careful attention to detail and a love of nature. But for many Canadians, it's a beloved tradition that celebrates the coming of spring and the sweetness of life. We hope this video has given you a taste of all the incredible experiences Canada has to offer. If you're ready to start planning your own adventure to Canada, please ensure to use our Booking.com referral link. https://www.booking.com/index.html?aid equals 7989335 to book your flights, hotels, car rentals, local attractions, and more. It's an easy and kind way to support this channel and make sure you get the best possible deals on your trip. Thank you. Anhub Metaverse team at Vancouver, Canada, CA.